Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and this and that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're gonna get into a very interesting and exciting topic, and that is finding beauty within the birth chart. You know, if you were to play astrologer for a day or get your hands on a birth chart and you had never seen a person in real life, these would be the telltale signs that would automatically spark from the birth chart to indicate that the person is beautiful, that they show up in the world as beautiful. They are very attractive to others right off first impressions, okay? So these are the top 10 indicators. I do want to preface this video by saying that if you do not have any of these placements, please know that that does not mean that you are not beautiful, that people will not see you as beautiful or attractive. Know that these specific placements that I am naming are just the indicators within the birth chart that are conventional beauty. Beauty that is palpable, beauty that is just seen, you know, within the birth chart. But it doesn't mean that you are not beautiful, okay? And there's always, there's a pot to every lid, and there is beauty is within the eye of the beholder, right? So know that you are not cursed if you do not have these placements, or you're an ugly duckling if you don't have these placements. That is not what this video is about, okay? I want you to use this video, as all of my videos, as an overview and a guide to just see what indicators in the birth chart show and indicate beauty, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. The first indicator, quite obviously, is going to be Venus in the birth chart, okay? If you have Venus in your birth chart in the first house, all right, in the first house specifically, whether it be by planet or by sign, okay, and a bonus if you have both, right? Then this is going to indicate that you are beautiful, that you are someone that is going to get hit on. So for example, if you have Venus in the first house, the planet of Venus sitting in the first house in whatever sign is going to give you some stroke of grace, beauty, and harmony to your facial features, to your presence, right? You are going to show up very beautifully. You are going to be attractive to people in the conventional terms, in conventional means, okay? What else? If you have Taurus or Libra on the first house, this is going to give that same quality as Venus in the first, okay? Because they're literally the same thing. And like I said, if you have like Venus in Libra or Venus in Taurus in the first house, even better. But this usually, no matter what the trends are, no matter what, you know, is trending on TikTok or in the ethos of human, you know, evolution as far as what we regard as beauty, when you have Venus, Taurus, or Libra in the first house, you will fit that. You will fit that, and you will evolve with the times, or you will just have a timeless beauty that no matter what the trends that are evolving or happening within the world, you will still be someone that people see as beautiful, like period. Like I know a person quite actually with a Venus in the first house, and it's so funny because this person is just like, on paper, she is just so plain Jane, you know, like, and she's able to just like get away with it. Like, she doesn't really do much. She doesn't wear any makeup, and I think she's a Libra rising actually. She doesn't wear any makeup, and the men fall all over her. Like, it's just, it is what it is, you know? When you have Venus in the first house, you're going to be able to get away with certain things that, you know, other people might have to put on or work hard at. They just are that, okay? So that is what this would show with, you know, Venus in the first house, whether it be by sign or by the actual planet sitting in the first, okay? The second indicator in the birth chart is going to be Moon in the first house, whether it be by the sign or whether it be by the actual planet in the first. So if you have Moon in the first, or you are a Cancer rising, you are going to be seen as beautiful in this life, because there's going to be a slight ethereal and nurturing, receptive quality to the person, okay? Whenever you put a luminary within the first house, like the moon, you are going to look up at the moon. The moon has a glow to it, right? This is gonna give a person very glowy skin. They're gonna have very watery eyes. They're going to have a very round face. They're gonna have a very nurturing look that pulls people in, right? It's a slightly ethereal quality to the person, right? When they have moon in the first, it's a very receptive quality. But at the same time, like, so that distinction was for moon in the first house, right? The round face, glowy skin, and for Cancer rising as well. But I want to make a big distinction with the Cancer rising. Now, if you have Cancer rising in the first house, because you have that Aries in the 10th, and because you have that Saturn in the 7th by sign, right? You are going to also carry the duality. You're gonna be someone that is very receptive, but there's this edgy quality to you. There's this, I want you to think of like Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider, or just Angelina Jolie in general, right? She is a Cancer rising. And I have never seen a Cancer rising who isn't equally beautiful, but there's some prickliness to them. There's an edge to that quality. Like, yes, they are beautiful and they pull you in. They have a very nurturing and motherly, feminine quality to them, but there's still that edge. There's still that streak of like tomboy, and that's coming from that Aries 10th house. Okay, when you have a Cancer rising, the best way to look at it is literally Angelina Jolie. Go look at Angelina Jolie in the movie Tomb Raider, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the very round eyes, round face, but there's still some structure. There's still some edge, a tomboy quality to the Cancer rising. Whether the Cancer rising is a male or female, they will have the duality within them. They will have a feminine and an equal parts masculinity to them, and that is even more compounding the beauty that they possess within them. Okay, so that is moon in the first house or Cancer rising. Okay, the next indicator is going to be if you have the second luminary within the birth chart or within your first house, which is the sun in the first. If you have the sun in the first house, I mean, hello, like, that is all eyes on you. That is an attractive quality to who you are. You're going to have big hair. You're going to, light up a room whenever you step into it. There's going to be a big, bright, bold quality to your presence, to who you are, to your look. You're gonna have a great smile. That's something that a lot of sun in first houses or even Leo risings, this is a very big indicator too, because Leo rising will bring that sun to the first house. Big hair, nice smiles, very big energy, bold, bright, glamorous. That is an attractive. That is what the luminaries do when they go into the first house. They bring those qualities to the person themselves. They become an embodiment of the luminary themselves. So when you have sun, think of what the sun is. The sun is the star, the biggest star in the galaxy, in our galaxy, and it is praised and worshipped, right? So that is what happens when you put Leo rising or sun in the first house. You will be seen as beautiful for sure, and if not, you will be highly attractive in one way or another, whether it be for your personality, and it is what it is, and that will be, and even that is seen as beautiful, right? Like, oh my God, you've got such a great personality, but it's also like, it's attractive. It brings people, it brings the boys or girls to the yard, so to speak, okay? So that is one of the indicators. The next indicator in the birth chart is going to be my personal favorite, which is Neptune in the first house, whether it be by the planet itself or by the ruling sign of Pisces, okay? This is my favorite because this is gonna give the person a very dreamy, ethereal, phantasmal look to themselves, okay? They're going to have a very, almost like Marilyn Monroe or movie star look to them. I have never seen a Pisces rising who doesn't look like they were pulled out of a Midsummer Night's Dream or some Shakespearean movie, or they just look very ethereal. They look like they were made for film and television. They have a very illusory look to them, and they are able to adapt. They're able to fit the mold of whatever the person who is perceiving them people will put their image of beauty onto them. So they will look beautiful to different people, but the common theme is that they will look beautiful to everyone, if that makes sense. Like, this is what makes them beautiful, because people are able to put the fantasy onto who they think this person is, or what they think this person can do. And you know, it's a different conversation of if that person likes being perceived that way, or them having to fight against that perception, but nonetheless, they are still regarded as beautiful. People with Neptune or Pisces in the first house are some of the most glamorous and beautiful people within our zodiac. I want you to think of like Whitney Houston, right? Whitney Houston was a model, then she turned singer. See, so it brings a very, and then she was in movies. So it's, you see, it brings this very illusory, made for television type of look to the person, okay? I would highly suggest that if you have Neptune or Pisces in your first house, find a camera, okay? Get in front of a camera and snap some pics, okay? Because your pictures will come out good, all right? Or, you know, yeah, get in front of a camera, okay? Is my biggest suggestion. Just do it, okay? But yes, Neptune, Pisces in the first is a very, very ethereal look to them, a very spiritual look to them, if that makes sense, okay? So that is that indicator, all right? This next indicator is a little bit controversial, okay? Or not so much as controversial as much as slept on, okay? I feel like me bringing it up might be controversial is what I mean, okay? It's a little bit slept on. A lot of people don't realize it, but I've seen a lot of people with Chiron in the first house who, even though they don't know they are beautiful, others will see them as beautiful, right? This is what Chiron in the first house would bring. People who have Chiron in the first house, they are usually beautiful. They are people who are usually, their bodies are beautiful. Who they are is beautiful. And the person themselves that has the Chiron in the first house, they don't see it. That's the caveat. That's why it's so controversial, is because you'll never hear a Chiron person in the first house say, oh my God, yes, I'm beautiful. They'll never be the first one to say it. It may take some coaxing, and they may need 100 compliments before they come around to believing it. And that's why it's a bit controversial and a little bit slept on, because Chiron in the first house will bring a quite unique quality to the person. It will bring a very beautiful look to the person, because that is quite literally built into their test as a Chiron in first house, is to learn and believe how beautiful they are. They don't know it. They're kind of sleep. The person that has Chiron in the first house, they're kind of sleep to the fact of how beautiful they are, to be honest with you. So this is that quality. Let me know if you have Chiron in the first house. Are you shocked to hear this? It probably makes you cringe for me to even say that you are someone who is quite attractive, you know, who is beautiful, who has a very special quality to who you are, right? When you step into the room, you're gonna be a bit polarizing. People are going to be like, whoa, who is that? There's gonna be something about you that goes, whoa, okay? And that in and of itself is beautiful. You're pulling eyes towards you in some regard, okay? So yes, Chiron in the first house is one of the telltale placements of a beautiful person, a beautiful image, a beautiful look to the person, okay? This next indicator is going to be Scorpio risers, or people who have let's just go with Scorpio risers. With the Scorpio risers, I have never seen a non-sexy Scorpio riser. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I would love to see it, because then that would put me out of a job, you know, but I have never seen a Scorpio riser who doesn't have some type of magnetic quality to who they are. You just want to look at them. You want to obsess over them. You want to see every pore in their face if they have a pore. It's like they exude sex appeal. They exude that beauty. And of course, sex appeal is a byproduct of what? Extreme beauty, right? So this is what that is when you have Scorpio rising in the first house, or if you were just a Scorpio riser, all right? So that is that for that, for that indicator. The next indicator is going to be if you have the first lord in the first house, okay? Now, I would say not so much if you have like, well, if you do have Pluto in Scorpio, first lord in the first house is gonna give you some kind of attention to who you are. It really, really is. That's gonna bring an attractive quality to the person's look, to who they are, okay? If you have first lord in the first house, something about you it brings attention to who you are, okay? So what I mean by first lord in the first house, if you have Venus in Taurus, Venus in Libra, right? Jupiter in Sag, Jupiter in Pisces, Moon in Cancer. Do you get my drift of what I'm doing? The ruler of the sign, if it is in the first house, that is the first lord in the first house. What else? Uranus in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius. What else? What are the other ones? I know I'm missing. Gemini and Mercury, right? That if you have those first lords in first houses, then you will be seen as someone who is beautiful. You will have a very attractive quality to who you are, or when you step into the room, people will go, whoa, who is that? Okay, there's going to be something about you that has a very magnetic presence, a very bold leadership presence about you. You know, it's going to be very attractive. People are going to want to be around you. You're going to have something about you that gets you attention when you have this, okay? So first lord and first house and whatever the signs are, okay? If you're a little confused about this, write in my comments and ask me, hey, do I have this? Do I have that? And I will let you know if you do have what I am speaking of, okay? But the first lord in the first house, for those who know, that will be an indicator for you that you do have something about you that is very interesting, okay? You will walk into a room and you will get attention for one way or another, okay? This next indicator is going to be if you have Jupiter in the first house, okay? Jupiter in the first house really magnifies the good qualities and the bad qualities within whatever sign it is in. And if it's in the first house, it's gonna magnify it, okay? Especially if it's in one of the signs that I mentioned above, like Venus, Moon, Neptune, Sun, any of the ones that I've mentioned above previous to this indicator, if Jupiter is conjunct those in the first house, it's going to even magnify those beautiful qualities that I've mentioned before, okay? So Jupiter in the first or in conjunction to any of the planets or signs that I mentioned above is going to be, or previous, is going to be give you beauty, okay? That's one of the telltale signs, all right? And lastly, if you have Capricorn, if you're a Capricorn riser or you have Capricorn in the first house, you are going to have a very, very structured quality to the face. You're gonna have really good teeth, very structured jaw, very chiseled face is what is going to give you the beauty, right? Like, because everyone is gua shaing out here for what you have been born with, right? You're gonna be someone, everyone's getting braces for probably what you didn't even have to go get braces for. You're gonna have very structured teeth because Saturn rules the bones. And when you have Capricorn in the first house, it's gonna give you a very structured build to who you are, especially within the head, within the teeth, within the skeletal system. It's gonna be very structured, and the skeletal system just so happens to rule the jaw and the teeth and, you know, the facial structure. So you are going to have a very good one, all right? This is going to be, and you're also gonna probably be very tall and skinny and yeah, tall and frail. Not frail, but I think frail has a hard connotation to it. It has a bad connotation to it, but you know what I mean. You're gonna have a tall, slender physique, and you're gonna have, you know, straight teeth, chiseled jaw. I've seen people with Capricorn risings actually who are a little bit heavier set, but their face still maintains the nice jaw. It still maintains the nice teeth. So this is what will be seen when you have Capricorn rising as your rising sign, okay? So that was the video. I really, really do hope that this gave you some information and some insight into your unique placements. Hopefully you have some of these placements within your birth chart. Let me know if you have something similar to these placements within the birth chart, and I will let you know if that can be something that is regarded as beautiful or a beautiful indicator within the birth chart, okay? And do know, like I said previously, that if you do not have these qualities, or you don't have these placements within the birth chart, know that you still have the potential to be seen as beautiful by friends, family, and a loved one in your life, okay? You have a beautiful day. Bye.